is the Normandy from the Legendary Edition. So this is the remastered version, and I thought it was very apropos to film this, since the graphics are much better and the textures are just on another level than in the first original trilogy. Now there's nothing wrong with that Normandy, it's just not as pretty. So here we are. This is the galaxy map, and it's pretty big. It is twirling, which is very nice. If we click it, it does the sort of same thing. It has kept the old Mass Effect 1 layout of the galaxy maps, which is pretty nice. You can zoom out and then you get back to this. This is what it looks like in all the other games as well, but going, once you click here, it definitely looks different. So that's what the galaxy map looks like, and we use this to navigate space and time. We don't navigate time because we're not the Doctor, but you know, I always wanted like a crossover between Mass Effect and Doctor Who. I think that would be very cool. Anyway, so as you may notice, this is a very small CIC. It doesn't hold a lot of stuff. It's not very spacious, but it's small and compact and does what it needs to do. We don't have a human or comm specialist to help us with our messages. And you may notice that behind us we have a big wall where it says Normandy. Now on the other ones we'd find a lift here, but we'll explore later on what is behind this wall. On this side we usually have a private terminal, but in the first one we weren't afforded that. We also weren't meant to be in charge of this ship to begin with. Now this is Navigator Presley. If you watched my other tour videos, you know that he is in one of them. It looks like he got younger because he's got dark hair, but as you may see, this CSC is kind of small. You have all those screens though, very nice, probably full of important information. Now look at this, here we have some screens and they are so crisp and beautiful. I mean, you can see every single detail on it. It's so neat. It looks so great. Playing this game again is like playing it for the first time again. It's really very fun seeing the changes. If you just look over here on this panel, you can see the details, the wear and tear, despite it being a new ship. I think BioWare done a great job with remastering the trilogy, and I definitely think with Mass Effect 1 being so old, it came out in 2007, I definitely think it needed this facelift. Anyway, so I've been playing Mass Effect 1 again, and I can confirm that this was a build done together with the Turians. So the Turians and humans worked together on this beauty. That's why we have this, the captain's part in front of the galaxy map. I always felt it felt similar to based on the Durian's design and idea of leading your crew from, you know, above, standing above them, sort of, and demanding their respect and attention. So here we have the bridge, the very famous bridge that leads into the cockpit. But you see here as well, I think the lights are really cool, and the screens again just gives you that feeling of the sci-fi spaceship feeling. The Normandy is a very nice ship, and here you can see how crisp these letters look. Just looking at the edges of the N's and D and Y, you can see how sharp they are and not blurred or smudged, looking a bit like, you know, a blurry photo. You can even see the details here on the door. You have really nice details there. And even here, look at that tiny text there that you can actually read from where we are. Before you had to get up and close. If I don't even remember that text was there, to be honest, in the old one. But that could be because perhaps we didn't see it. This is where the Joker is. This is the cockpit of the first Normandy. So you have room for 2 more pilots in this Normandy, whereas the other one just has, I think, I want to say, the retrofitted has a chair for Edie. The Cerberus vessel only, I want to say it only has this one. I want to say that. And then Edie's over there. But yes, so this is the cockpit of the first one with all of these little screens. Pretty cool. As you may notice, I'm not sure we can use open and close these, but yeah, this is the cockpit. As with the other ones, we have a chair here and little screens on the walls. I mean, they're all the same screens, but you know, beggars can't be choosing. I don't know what these little things are, probably wires and whatnot that go through there. I don't know. But yeah, so this is the CIC and the bridge. Now, if you walked in here on the other ships, you got to sort of the back of the ship of the upper level. But we're not going to do that. We're going to check out this bit where it used to be a lift. We now have the com room. Now this is where we can communicate with the council. Oh, I got a codex. Who knew? This is also where we debrief our team after a mission. This is, by the way, this is my shepherd in the first game, and then in the second game she has a shaved head because obviously she went through surgery. It feels very canon to do it that way, but yes, I like this. I prefer this comms room. It feels like a comms room, not just a table in a room. Yeah, I think it's very cool. I prefer this sort of conference room to the others. Again, you can see so many more details has its mess hall where we eat lunch. Here are our lockers. This is my locker, it's one of those here. Some lounging chairs to relax in, whoops. And here are sleeper pods. So I didn't remember that these were sleeper pods. I also didn't pick up on that when I replayed this again. But wow, that's okay. That's pretty cool. I kind of want to look this up now and see what the idea with this is. The sleeper pods. Is it for when we like travel long places? Like, I don't know, many light years. This is where the main battery would usually be. But it's a dead end now. A very, very dead end. Okay, so if we walk in here or run, we have the original captain's cabin. Very modest in comparison to the other ones. I mean, just look at the bed. It just looks not very comfortable, I have to say. But and in case there was any doubt of which model this was, you got it written on the wall, just to remind you. I also hope these little lights can be turned off, because I'd have trouble sleeping otherwise. There's a lot of lights in here that I feel are a little bit unnecessary. But yeah, so this is the old captain's cabin. We're moving over here. Normandy, Medbay. So the Medbay is still in the same place, and we still have the lovely Dr. Chakwas with us. This took me like, I think I discovered this last time I played Mass Effect, that you could replenish your medical. Embarrassingly enough. Here we have all the beds for patients. I do like their medbay a lot more, because I feel like this feels very sci-fi. This feels like something you'd find on a spaceship in comparison to the other ones. I really like those overhead sort of light thingies. This design, I wish they'd kept this design, to be honest. I think I prefer this one. It looks much cooler. Chakwas has a little less space here, and a much bigger laptop. I'm not sure what this is though, probably like prep table type thing. And in the other ones we have the AI core in here, or the Normandy sort of core. But this is where we find Liara in the first game. So this is her sort of room. I suppose this is like a medbay cargo-y sort of area. There's not much to do in there. So that's what we have in here. Now we have another floor. Okay, so here we have I don't know if this is like a shuttle bay or cargo hold. I want to say that it's a cargo hold. So here we have Alliance Requisition Officer, where we can buy different gear and weapons and whatnot. is in his original outfit when it's not broken, looking very dashing. Over here we have Ash, who I have a soft spot for, and I may be one of the only ones, but I do love Ash. I think she and Miranda are my number one love interests if I have any in this game, in this trilogy. And you know, let's be honest, I do have them. So here's Ashley polishing her shotguns and sniper rifles and whatnot. I wouldn't expect anything else from her, I'll be honest. We have Wrex. This is the game we pick him up in, and I love the color on his beautiful crest. Look at that red color, it's incredible. I think I spoke about this in my Liara mission video, I'm not entirely sure, but there's just so much more details on him. Not sure you can see it, so I'm gonna go into photo mode and we're gonna zoom in. Look at all these details on this man, on this Krogan. That's my dog in the background. Now look at all these details on Wrex. And honestly, he almost looks hand painted, like this crest bit. And in the old game, I did a comparison. I looked at the old game sort of bits, and you can't even see these little. I'll put my arrow on it, but you can't even see those little. I want to say bumps, but lizardy type things on his skin scales, whatever it is. You couldn't even see those in the old game, right? So that shows what a big difference it is between the games, how much more details he has. Now down here is where we find the Normandy's core, and I'm gonna put in a shot of the old Normandy here. We're gonna pan so you get to see the difference because it's so big. And while we're panning, you can also see the difference on Tali. My goodness, look at this beautiful texture. We can even talk to her, and you can see every detail on her armor is incredible. What I also really love about this Tali is that you can kind of see her face, but not really see her face. So this is uber cool. Now I don't know how they. I mean, okay, so I can sort of imagine how they rebuilt Normandy's core, but it just looks so different in this game. Yeah, and here we have Engineer Adams. He was with us in the third game again, and he stands here by his hollow screens working, making sure Normandy runs as she should. And this is actually the entirety of upgraded her and made her bigger. So this is the smallest. The second one is the second largest, and the third one is the biggest of all the different Normandy builds. Now we're back at the CIC, and I hope you enjoyed this tour. I hope you were able to relax, and maybe even sleep. My next video is going to probably be a tour of the first citadel, which in comparison to the other games is actually the biggest of all the citadels. It has so many levels and places, so that might